Origins of Blues Music by Joshua Lawrence. Blues music, a genre deeply rooted in African American history, is one of the most influential and enduring styles in the evolution of American music. Emerging in the late 19th and 20th centuries, blues music grew from spiritual works and folk traditions of enslaved Africans and descendants in the American South. Over time, it developed into a form of expression that captured the joys and sorrows of the African American experience, influencing countless genres, including jazz, rock, rhythm, and blues. Origins of blues music. The origins of blues can be traced back to the cultural exchanges between enslaved Africans and the border American society in the South. The African slaves brought with them musical traditions that were characterized by call and response patterns, synchronized rhythms, and the use of pentatonic scales, all which laid the foundation for what will become the blues. The music of enslaved African people was deeply intertwined with their lives, often accompanying work on the field, church services, social gatherings, spiritual and field hollowers. Improv songs and sung by enslaved people during work were crucial in this time early development. After the Civil War and the abolishment of slavery, African Americans, though free, continued to face harsh economic and social conditions. The songs created during this period reflected their struggles, but also the resilience and desire for self-expression. These early blues songs were deeply personal, often dealing with themes of hardship, love, and pain, with lyrics that spoke into the individual's experience. Around this time, that musical style began to solidify into what we now recognize as blues, distinguished by its 12-bar structure, call response format, and emotional delivery. The rise of blues in the early 20th century. Blues music began to formalize in the Mississippi Delta, the most influential regions for the genre. Musicians such as Charlie Payton, Son House, Robert Johnson helped to popularize the blues in the 1920s and 30s. Johnson, often considered the king of the Delta blues, is one of the most legendary figures in the history of the genre. His 1936 recordings, including the Crossroad Blues, Hellbound on My Trail, embody the essence of the Delta blues, featuring his haunting guitar work and lyrics about love, loss, and life struggles. The Mississippi Delta's isolation and intense poverty of its residents continued to the development of its unique style of the blues. One that emphasized storytelling, emotional depth. The blues musicians of this era were often traveling from town to town, playing in juke joints on the street corners, spreading their music across the South. These musicians were largely known to the mainstream America at the time. Their influence is undeniable. As the blues continued to evolve, it spread to other regions, especially throughout the Great Migration, when African Americans moved to the north cities like Chicago, Detroit, New York to search for better opportunities. Urban blues and Chicago sound. In the early 20th century, the migration of African Americans from the South to the urban centers in the North had a profound effect on blues music. Chicago, in particular, became a key hub for the development of urban blues. The arrival of rural blues musicians in the city marked a blending of traditional Delta blues with urban influence, including jazz and the big band music. The electric guitar, harmonica, and other amplified instruments played a key role in shaping the Chicago blues sounds. The new sound became known as Chicago blues. Artists like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, BB King were big in this transformation. Muddy Waters, often called the father of modern Chicago blues, made the transition from acoustic to electric guitar and pioneered a louder, more aggressive sound. His 1948 recording, I Can't Be Satisfied, marked a significant moment in the evolution of blues. With Powell with his deep, gravity voice also became an iconic figure in the Chicago blues scene, as did B.B. King, who added a sophic, expressive style to the genre with his smooth, red note guitar playing. Chicago blues became the dominant style in the 1940s and the 1950s, drawing the attention of both African Americans and white audiences. The popularity of these artists helped solidify the blues as a central component of American music, influencing other genres such as rock and roll and rhythms and blues and rock music. In the 1960s saw the blues music cross over into the mainstream popular culture, largely due to the British invasion. British rock bands, including the Rolling Stones, the Yardbirds, Led Zeppelin, were heavily influenced by the blues music. And then many of their earlier hits were based on blues riffs, chord progressions. The Rolling Stones in particular were known for their reverence for blues legends, with their name in self-tribute to Muddy Waters' song Rolling Stone. The renewed interest sparked a revival in the United States, where American blues artists such as John Lee Hooker, Buddy Guy gained more widespread recognition. During this time, blues festivals such as Newport Folk Festival and American Folk Blues Festival helped bring older blues musicians to new audiences, while younger musicians continued to incorporate the blues elements into rock and roll. The legacy of blues. Blues music impact on the contemporary music is immeasurable. From rock to jazz, country to hip hop, blues has influenced nearly every genre of modern music. Artists such as Eric Clapton, Steve Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix have continued to continue the blues tradition while pushing its boundaries. The emotional depth and authenticity of blues continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Nowadays, the blues remains an important part of American culture heritage. Blues festivals are held globally, and the genre continues to be celebrated through the work of contemporary blues music like Kev Mob, Kemo, Susan Tedesson, and Job Emerson. The blues also continues to inspire and inform musicians in a wide variety of genres, proving that its message of overcoming adversity and expression of raw emotion is timeless. Conclusion. The history of blues music is such a rich tapestry of African American history, cultural resilience, and musical innovation. From its origins to the work and song and spirituals of enslaved Africans to its development into the Mississippi Delta and transformation into Chicago blues, the genre has continuously adapted, remaining deeply tied to its roots. The blues not only captured the experience of African Americans in the South, but also laid out the foundation for much more modern music. To reflect on the personal and collective struggles, the blues continue to inspire generations of musicians and listeners alike.